Okay, it's November 10th, 2024. These are the 8-inch woofers that I purchased. I'm thinking about using them as replacement woofers for my Hegeman Model 1 speakers that have damaged woofers. So stay tuned. I'm going to continue this video when I have time to replace them. Bye. All right, everybody. This is part one of I don't know how many. We're in my laboratory in the basement. And all I want to do is see if I bought these as replacements. It's the Ciade HW210s. And all I want to do is see how these fit in the original cutout of a Hegeman Model 1 as a possible replacement woofer. I've never used this brand before. It's a replacement woofer made in Italy. And we'll see how it works out. Okay, so we know how to get these covers off. Oop, sometimes they could get a little. Okay, there you go. There's the cover. And I already have these loose. So I'm just going to take out 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the 4 speaker mounting screws. And we'll be back. These are machine screws. So I'm screwing into a threaded insert, and they look like this. And there's a little lock washer. It's a 1032, I believe, 1032 screw. Okay, I'll be back. So here's your tweeter assembly. And the deflector. So I'm just going to carefully move this out of the way. I'll probably just stick a screw in here. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm going to stick this screw back in this hole, guys and ladies, so I can safely just keep this off to the side of my work area. Not put any stress on the wires. Like that. Alright, so my tweeter assembly is, as you can see, hanging off the edge there. Let's get back to business. So now there's 4 screws holding in the woofer. We're going to take those out now. As you could see, the woofer has a flat washer and a split lock. And there's the original Hegeman cone. Woofer, 8-inch spun aluminum cone rubber surround. So, one may ask, why is an intelligent man like me wasting time with an old speaker? Well, believe it or not, a lot of old speakers sound pretty good. They do need a little TLC. You know, had this speaker not have been damaged, overpowered, whatever you want to call it, or just old, I would have kept them original because they sounded nice. So, But sometimes, you know, you can't always keep things original sometimes. And that's fine. You do what you have to do, and it should sound really good with the replacement. So this video is just to see how this replacement that I've chosen fits inside here. And then maybe I'll make a part 2 video. Probably, of course, I will. So when these were designed, you could see there's very little space here. So when Stu Hegeman designed these, he wasn't having larger than like an 8.5 OD on any speaker. 8.5 is the outer diameter from here to here. Okay. Now, I already pulled these out. Otherwise, let me tell you, it would not be easy to get these out. And so here's what the speaker looks like. Smell that wood from 1972. Beautiful construction. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just snip these at the ends. Right here. Okay. The lighter colored wire is the positive. Another thing I'm not sure of, and maybe some experts can enlighten me, is this voice coil wound the same way as my replacement woofer voice coils? And how would I know? How would I know that my woofer is going to be in phase with the tweeter? So this looks good. See? Nice smooth movement. So I'm just going to snip this here and here just to get this out of the way, because I need to see if the other speaker fits and the wires will be in the way. So just rest this here for now. Also, I decoded my tweeter crossover here. See these two capacitors? They're two 4.7 microfarads in series, yielding an effective capacitance of 2.35 microfarads, and that's a crossover of, I think, 7,000 hertz. For those interested. But now we're gonna remove this woofer and see how the other speaker fits. You could see I'm trying to retain the old gasket material. There's a gap here because it's stuck to the woofer, so I'm gonna use a blade and scrape it off the woofer and just reuse that piece right here, and then fill in the gap if there's any gaps. This has to be airtight. This is a sealed cabinet. There's no ports in this cabinet. Bass reflex. I think that's called bass reflex. Okay. We'll be back. Sorry, I made a mistake. This is an acoustic suspension, meaning it's a sealed cabinet. Bass reflex means ported, and acoustic suspension means the cabinet is sealed. So the cone kind of is working against air pressure inside the cabinet. So this is an acoustic suspension type speaker system. Okay, so here's the beautiful Hegeman Model 1 8-inch woofer. And as you can see, here's a little piece of gasketing material that I'm going to use a razor blade and remove that from the woofer and put back here. And I'm going to reuse that because this material sealed it very well, so I see no need to replace it. Or I see no technical advantage to replace it. So here's the Ciade. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Ciade, I think. HW210. I'm hoping this will be a good replacement because you're kind of limited unless you want to do some woodwork, and I don't want to change my cabinets. So this is the first time I'm putting this in here. I did some measurements. Keep your fingers crossed. Okay, we have some kind of conflict. I'm not sure what it is. Okay, pretty close. The outer diameter is okay. I think it's getting hung up on the gasket material. Because when I did my measurements, I didn't include the overhang of this gasket material. So this should seat nicely. I may even get lucky with the holes. Let's check that out. Will these holes line up? Pretty close. They may line up. It's hard to tell. They are pretty close. I mean, there are 4 mounting holes, just like the original. It looks like they're pretty close. They may line up. May get lucky there with the HW210s. So, I'm going to have to get a razor and just scrape away this excess gasketing material that's overhanging the cutout. Because that should not, that's what's preventing this from seating all the way in. Okay. Okay, everybody. If you're wondering what you're looking at, check it out. The centers of the mounting holes of this woofer, this replacement woofer, fit perfectly with the Hegeman OEM mounting positions. So for those of you who are not good at woodworking or just don't want to cut and ruin your original cabinets, these woofers, the mounting holes fit perfect. So all I did was flip the woofer over, and I was able to screw in all 4 screws into the original Hegeman threaded inserts. So this is great. The only thing I don't know is if the dust cover of this woofer will, the dust cover will clear this hemisphere that's on the bottom of this tweeter. But that's easy to adjust. If I have to lift this assembly up, that's easy. Just use a washer or a spacer. So that's about it for today. It's a little warm down here. I'm sweating. I just got a sweat bead on my new woofer, so that's going to cause distortion now. I'll get a Q-tip and bead that off of there. Absorb it. So this is good news that this fits. I believe it's going to fit inside the mounting hole once I trim away the inside of the original Hegeman gasket. And so I think we'll be home free. Everything else should mount nice. Now, I have no idea what this is going to sound like. It could sound like garbage. You just don't know until you try it in your room with your amplifier, solid state tube. Doesn't matter, whatever you want to try it with. And if it sounds good, then you hit a home run. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this little experiment. I don't have my shop vac down here, so what I'm going to do is trim the gasket on the inside, and then this will set right in. Or if you want to wait for part 2 to be 100% sure, that's coming within a couple weeks. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you for watching. Oh, it's not sweat. It's a little teeny dot of epoxy. I'm going to have to write a letter to Chiade. You got a little dab of epoxy on the back of my cone here. But it's all fine. I thought that was sweat because I wiped my head before and I thought sweat went here, but it's just a little dot of epoxy, black epoxy. Okay, we march on. Okay, change of plans. I can't leave you guys hanging. That's rude. We're going to see if this thing fits tonight. You know, I got to work tomorrow. I'm a little tired. But I got my blade here. If this doesn't work, I'll use an X-Acto. But you could see what I'm doing. I'm trimming. I was going to use like a Dremel, but then I'd have to hold the vacuum cleaner near it, the nozzle. I don't want anything to go inside. It's hard to get down into these ports. They go all the way to the bottom. So I'm just going to trim and just be careful. Trim around here. I'll let you know if the woofer fits. I'm going to do this off camera because you'll fall asleep watching me just trim this gasket out of here. So as you could see, just putting a little tension, just taking my time, using a sawing motion. I'm not cutting the wood, I'm just trimming the gasket out here. See? And we got by the mounting hole okay there. So I believe that this is what's keeping the speaker from seating, the replacement speaker. The original Hegeman gasket actually overhangs the diameter of the hole. See, it's coming out nice. Don't have to worry about all bits falling down there because I'm going to hold this piece. Okay, talk to you soon. Okay, I got from here all the way over here, so about half I trimmed. It's about a eighth of an inch. That can make a huge difference. And look at this, it's still kind of rubbery, not brittle at all. They use some pretty good gasketing material here. I'm not sure if it's neoprene or butyl rubber. I'm not sure. It's not I don't think it's a foam gasket. Look at this. It's still got some spring to it. It's like a bass guitar E string. Look at this. Boom, boom. Can make a guitar. Okay. So that trimmed really nice. So I'm gonna just finish it. Okay. Gasket's completely removed. Let's grab the woofer here. Let me pause it a sec. All right, I have the woofer. You guys say woofer or woofer? Okay. So I'm hoping that it's going to fit. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to do a little sanding. Okay. Oh, it's close. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's definitely not seated. It's definitely not seated. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to cut the hole out. All I'm going to do is with a Dremel do a chamfer sanding of just the top edge. I mean, there's barely maybe an eighth of an inch before it seats, but that's what it's going to look like. Looks great. Okay, I'm going to end this video. My next step is going to be, like I just said, I'll show you. It's just probably hitting this angled part here, see? This section, so all I need to do is do with a Dremel sanding bit, and it's actually still more gasket. No, I did a pretty good job with the gasket material. So I'm just going to go like this. All the way around 360 degrees, and this is going to plop right in. So I'm going to end this video. Chiade HW210. I don't work for Chiade, but they'll probably hire me after this video. There you go. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great night and a great week. Bye now. I forgot one more thing. Will the hemisphere clear the dust cover of the new speaker? It's very close. But I think we're going to be okay, because the excursion of this woofer is, I think, around 6 or 7 millimeters. Now these arms are going to, they may, it looks like they're landing right in the mounting holes here, as you could see. But once again, this woofer is not fully seated, so you can't really say 100%. It's close. It's close, but I do not think the sphere, the orange sphere is going to interfere. Nah, it's about a, hard to tell. Maybe 3/8, quarter of an inch. I wish I could give you a better camera angle, but can't really do this until I fully seat the woofer. And whatever the distance was between the woofer and that hemisphere originally, you can easily just maintain it by putting a washer under this mounting leg, the 4 mounting legs. But I do think it might work out without making that modification. It's pretty close, but I can't really tell you. I mean, it's not touching. I think there's about a quarter of an inch in there. Just could see a good sized gap in there. Okay, this time the video is really ending, I promise. Have a great night.